everybody, it's Leah Grace.
And John.
And today we are going to make some honey soap. So I have already prepped my lye water and all of my oils. We're going to go ahead and combine those until we reach a light trace. So I got my stick blender here. I'm just going to insert it into the oils. It's always good to give it a little bit of a tap, kind of burp the stick blender, if you will. It helps to get rid of any air that might be trapped underneath it. So let's go ahead and pour this in. I'm sure everyone loved the random factoids we got with our last soap make. I wonder if we could persuade my darling husband to give us some random factoids about honey.
I can do that. About honey itself or honeybees?
I think we're pretty open, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
As you're not a fan of bees, I would assume...
I don't like bees.
I would
Anything
assume
that
honey.
buzzes,
Yeah.
they can stay away.
I understand that.
But, a random fact about honeybees. Morgan Freeman converted his ranch to a bee sanctuary. He's got like 26 bee colonies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, who knew?
Alright, I've got this at a light trace. We're just barely emulsified. So we are going to divide this up into our different colors that we'll be using for our honey soap today. And you know what I almost forgot in our honey soap? The honey.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
So I've got my honey container here, and we're going to measure out 1 tablespoon and add it to our batter. This is the first time I've ever used honey in a soap, and it's supposed to speed up gel phase. It's supposed to get really hot whenever you add honey due to all the increased sugar in your recipes. So we're gonna have to work fast, and then this soap actually sits in the fridge or freezer for 24 hours of the curing process.
Honey is about 80% sugar.
80%?
About.
My
Quite
goodness.
a lot.
Just like you.
It's got so much stuff in it, it doesn't actually spoil very much. It's like sell by date and use by date on the bottle of honey is for the bottle, not for the honey itself.
Oh, really? I'm hoping that this makes a really moisturizing bar because it's a natural humectant, so it draws all the moisture in the air to itself. Alright, let's give it a little bit of a stir here. Alright, now let's divide it into our batter bowls, shall we? Okay, I don't know what it is about today, but I almost forgot something a second time. After honey, we're going to add our honey fragrance. Raw honeycomb from Brambleberry. So let's give this one a whiff. It almost smells like you're walking through a field of natural things. I wouldn't know, I'm not very nature inclined. Can you smell it, dear?
Oh, that's nice.
You like it?
Smells good.
We'll add it right on in. I gave our batter just a little bit of a stick blend after we added the honey as well. Just wanted to make sure that got fully incorporated. And now, I believe, we can divide it into our 4 portions. So we have our batter divided into our 4 subcolors and our main color. So for our main color, we're going to use some yellow. Kind of wanted the main component of this to have that classic golden honey color. And it's going to be pretty light. We'll add just a splash of TD to this as well. Let's add the rest of this yellow to one of our components. I'm doing this a little bit freestyle, kind of seeing how the colors go. And we'll take it from there. Go. And our second color is this deep orange, so beautiful. I looked up different kinds of honey, and it really is pretty amazing how many different colors and shades there are of it. You think it's just what you find in the grocery store aisle, but there's a whole wide world out there. And for our final color component, we're going to add this sort of umber brown color. It has a mixture of the yellow and the orange, plus just a little bit of a brown mica. So we'll put most of it into the final component and just a little bit into this orange. It's a little bit of a gradient we're creating here with all these colors. And then we'll have fun with a drop swirl as the overall design. So I'll take care of adding the titanium dioxide to the ones that need it. And let's mix up these colors. So now that we've got our colors all blended, I'm going to scooch into the side and bring in our mold. So here we've got our, oh my gosh, there's a mess. A little one. Here we've got our 3-pound mold lined with our silicone liner, and we're going to start adding our colors. That was a strange sound. All right, so we're going to start pouring in our base color here. Deep orange, well, it's kind of a light orange. And then we'll get deeper from here. Does this look kind of like honey to you, dear?
I think so. I think the other ones look a little more, but I guess once they're all kind of together, it's gonna look great.
So nice to get everything from the bowl. And now that we've got our first color in here, I'm just going to give it a little tap on the table. And we're going to start swirling in the rest of our colors. So I'm actually going to start from darkest and go to lightest. So we've got our darkest color here. It's setting up and already getting hot, so I'm going to have to be fast. And the goal is just to kind of plop it from a higher height so that way it penetrates the very first layer that we did. It's okay to save a little bit for the top. I always like decorating the tops of these soaps with a little bit of the interior colors. I wonder if we have any more random facts about honey to share.
Well, I like that color though.
Yeah, you do?
That's a nice color. I like that one. It's
Okay.
kind of caramelly. It's a good
It is
one.
kind of caramelly.
I can give you more random facts though. That's
Okay.
cool. I can do that.
They're high in demand.
They are. I totally. Let me see. Honey was like in ancient Greek mythology.
Uh-huh. Oh, it was?
It was. It was said that the gods like lived basically on honey. They gave them magical kind of powers and immortality and things. They used to like eat it. They called it nectar, but it was honey. And then ambrosia, it was like a honey wine.
I guess even in biblical storytelling, honey was symbolic of the good things in life, the land of milk and honey.
Yeah, they used it to treat people with fever. Even Hippocrates and everything used honey to treat fevers and all sorts of things.
Let's add just those few little bits of our extra colorant.
Even in like Greece and like 500-600 BC had like legally regulated beekeeping for making honey.
Really?
It's crazy that long ago, and they were like worried about the laws of beekeeping.
Right.
You know, but there you go.
Well, it's a very important business.
Yeah.
I do know, I don't know much about it, but I know that I think honeybees are in danger right now.
Numbers are declining, I think.
I've seen a lot of things that are like, save the honeybees.
I think that's why Morgan Freeman done that thing with his
That makes sense.
land to turn into kind of sanctuary.
Good old Morgan Freeman.
Because you need a lot of bees. One teaspoon of honey is like 12 bees' life work.
Golly, really?
A teaspoon. I mean, the average hive can have like 30,000 bees.
And one queen, right?
One queen, but like 30,000 bees, that's like a small town. You know?
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, that's probably not far off from the town I grew up in.
Yeah, and that's just one hive. Morgan Freeman had like 26.
And only one Morgan Freeman.
Yep, thankfully. He's a legend.
The world can only handle one.
We don't deserve more.
No. I do think Morgan Freeman was the best TV or movie portrayal of God ever.
Oh, that was a great
Right?
movie. Loved it.
I really like this color. I don't know if you can tell, but it has sort of it's an orangey honey color. If I can ever find honey that is actually this color in real life, in my real life, I will buy it. Getting every last drop of the honey goodness. into our mold. And then I have something special planned for the top. I'm gonna go grab a bamboo skewer. I will BRB. So I'm going to give this soap a little tap to even things out. So let's go ahead and clean off the edges too while we're at it. Make it nice and neat. It helps with cutting the bars later to not have any extra little bits hanging off the side. So with my bamboo skewer, I am going to swirl the top of this. You probably won't see too much of this swirl but in the final thing, but it's so much fun to do. And I did it wrong. Oh, because I should be starting with, yeah. There we go. I just like to see it and I like to do it. Don't you think that's pretty, honey?
It's lovely.
Now that we have that in, I'm going to do a little bit of a texture with some bubble wrap. It's always nice to find new ways to reduce, reuse, recycle. So this is actually going to be pressed into the surface of the soap. And later when it's removed, it's going to leave a little honeycomb-like shape. That's so fun to do. I should do this more often. I've cut another piece that's going to fit right into the shape that we just left. Make sure I remember what way. Oh, it's this way. Just press that little guy right in there. I'm trying to press it in enough where I can see the soap come into the negative space of the bubble wrap, but not too much that it avalanches out the sides. And my last little piece, must be this way. It's gonna go right here. Okay, we've got our bubble wrap in. I'm super anxious to see what that's gonna look like. Now, honey, a design question for you. I always like to ask for my husband's advice because he has a very good eye for this sort of thing. I can use the back of a spoon to kind of swirl this side a little bit, kind of add some lift to it. I could use a bamboo skewer that would be a little bit more dainty. What do you think would be nice?
Daisy's cool. You like dainty.
Dainty. I do like dainty. Good point. Alright, so we'll have fun swirling this a little bit. You think that's good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay, after much turmoil, we have decided on this design. So we did little individual swirlies for each bar with our bamboo skewer, and I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you for your input, dear.
No
Or
worries.
should I say, honey?
Boom.
Let's get in closer, shall we? I'm liking all those colors that we used. Hopefully they show up nicely in the finished bar.
The honeycomb's gonna look good with the bubble wrap.
Yeah, you
That'll be
think?
pretty.
Hopefully that peels off nicely.
Fingers crossed.
We'll find out tomorrow. So off to the freezer for this soap, and we will check back in with you guys in 24 to 48 hours. Now presenting honey soap. I'm so excited to take the bubble wrap off the top, and wow, hello, color change. This is kind of an amber color when we last left it, and now it's yellow. It was intentional, right, babe?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course.
It looks great.
Thank you. So the first thing we need to do is peel off this bubble wrap that has been sitting there for 2 days. We actually froze this soap for the first maybe 12 hours. And then after that, this has been sitting for 2 days. Ooh, it's working. What do you think, dear?
I think it looks lovely.
Looks kind of honeycomb-ish, don't you think?
It worked out really good.
I was actually kind of wondering if the heat of the soap would pop the plastic bubbles, but we're good. Oh, it's so fun to pull it off. Almost as fun as popping the bubbles. Now we are going to measure out our 1-inch sections with the ruler and then slice away. Okay, let's take a look at one of these slices closer up. Ooh, look at all those layers. You can really see all the different colors that we did. And I'm thinking that these interior sections here are going to lighten up just because of past experience over the last 2 days. It smells really sweet, sticky almost, although it doesn't feel sticky. But it has a real sweet, sugary smell to it, and yet very natural. And I think that extra sugar in the recipe, in the actual honey, is going to make it lather really nicely. What do you think about that top with the texture on it? It's got the bubble wrap, a little bit of a swirl here. And cutting this soap was like cutting butter. It was so smooth. I think it's because it had a higher percentage of olive oil in the recipe, so it's going to be really gentle and nourishing. Getting up close and personal with our honey soap. Loving all the texture. And I'm excited to see what these colors are going to do over time as well. It's really a mystery. So half the fun of soap making is the experimentation, right? So I thought I'd try something to jazz up the sides of these bars. My husband has one of these little Dremel tools. He's using it to build some Star Wars armor of some sort. So I thought I'd use it for soap making. So my goal here is to just kind of have fun, see if I can make a fun shape. This is a bar that was on the end and kind of has some distortion because it was so soft when it came out of the mold. So I thought I'd experiment a little bit with this one, and we'll see if it's worth doing to all the other bars as well. So here we go. Now I'm gonna go give this a quick rinse just to kind of get rid of the extra little bits of fleck. I'll zoom in there. You can see that there's just a few little bits that I couldn't get away with a bamboo skewer. So I'm gonna go rinse this and let it dry, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And here's what it looks like after I gave it a quick rinse with hot water and then I let it set to air dry. I actually think it looks super cute. So I went ahead and I did it to all the other bars too. So this one I've rinsed. All these other ones I haven't rinsed just yet, but I'm pretty happy with it. You can see that with different bars you get different looks. Sometimes the words got a little bit bigger, sometimes the bee got a little bit chubbier. Just means he's had extra honey, right? Just like Winnie the Pooh says, short and fat and proud of that. Let's bring in the husband and see what he has to say. Okay, so honey, what do you think? I added a little bit of pizzazz to these bars.
Fancy. I like it.
You do?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Do you get it? Be kind.
I get it.
You get it? Yeah.
So wait.
Which one's your favorite?
This one I think.
Oh, this one is the husband's favorite. Very nice, right? So thanks so much for watching, and remember to be kind.
Tell us what you think down below. See you next time.
And have a great day. Bye.